right here under samples, and you'll find synth pads and stabs. And there's a bunch of cool stuff here you can sample. Do you guys have this? Mood reel?
I don't, but it's available and I'm gonna download it right now.
It's available. Okay, sweet.
Yeah.
So that's a part of Ableton Suite. You can download it from the bottom of Ableton Live, and if you don't have it already, and it has a bunch of samples here. Let's go drum. What was it? Actually, mood reel. Okay, samples, synth pads and stabs. Let's try just this for now. And we'll duplicate that. And right here, I'll change the pitch. Let's go like what? Like, we'll try 4 down. Let's duplicate that. Of course, we want to do some changes. We'll talk about some more stuff. Okay. Nice. Also, breaks are sometimes very useful. So I'm going to zoom in and just cut this here and cut this here, like pauses. Okay, so the only thing I did here is using 2 shortcuts, which is Command E to split the clip. Okay, and then I'm holding Option and dragging. I also use Command D sometimes. Okay, you can use also Command V, Command C, and just repositioning them. But I mean, you'll have the video to go over this again. If you remember, I took only the last part of the Ambient break. We can, of course, let's fold this, mute it. We can, of course, just give another example with a different loop just to show you it's the same thing. Just choose a cool break that you like and go crazy. Where are my breaks? Right here. Let's say, which one should we go with? Write me in the chat. Okay, Apache, let's go. Load this up. Okay, nice. Now, let's first of all change it to repitch mode. Nice. Now, let's start rearranging it by chopping it up with Command E. Okay, Command D. I'm going to put wherever I want to start, chopping it up. Maybe I want this also here. And maybe we'll take another kick here. So now this is even more kind of intricate than the Ambient break, because the Ambient break we had like just chunks that we can take. And here let's go and do like 3 kicks. And okay, so let's start talking about some other stuff, because so far I just copied and deleted or moved around. We can also reverse. So to reverse, you can just highlight and hit R. Okay, and maybe I'll take this. We'll try to take this here. Whatever. And let's make this shorter by half so we can focus just on the first 4 bars. Okay. Okay, so we can reverse. Another thing we can do is change, where is it? Scrub inside the clip, which is a super useful shortcut that you can only achieve by shortcut or going inside the clip, which can be a bit annoying and moving the playhead around. But right here, let's say I don't like this last sample right here. What I can do is I can hold Option and Shift, and I can move this around inside the sample. Let me bring this up so you can see what's happening. But I can move this around on the clip. You see that? So it's much easier for this type of things, and also for vocal chops, for a lot of things for sampling, just to know this. So I can move this around with Option, Shift, and just dragging on the clip. Okay, so that I can choose. Nice. Now another thing, here we have those 3 kicks. Let's say, let me chop up this kick because it's connected to this clip. So Command E, and then we have those 3 kicks. Let's make it 4 kicks, and let's make the last one kind of double. Okay. So Command D, of course, it's very useful for glitching anything. Also vocals for like hyperpop and stuff. Command D, you're just glitching them up. What we can do when we glitch things, let's do it with the snare so it's kind of extreme. I'm gonna right click and choose, right now actually it's on 64. You see here, my grid is on 64. I'm gonna hit Command 1. I can't, okay? The reason Command 1 is gonna make the grid smaller, Command 2 is gonna make the grid larger. There's a limit of how much I can go because it's responsive, it depends on the zoom. So I can just zoom, or if you want, you can turn off adaptive grid and put it on fixed grid. And then it's, when you hit Command 1, you can go all the way to the Ableton limit, which is 16,000. Each beat is 16,000. We don't need that. We just maybe want something like this because we want extreme glitch here. And let's do even more. Okay, just to show you something. Okay. Nice. Now, at the edges of clips, which can be very useful, we have fades. So if I cut this clip right here, I have a fade. So I can fade out this clip. Okay, but if I have all these chops, each one of them has its own fade, which we can also crossfade between two, which not useful in this case because I want to crossfade there all these different, all these glitch, all these duplicates. So for that, we also should know that we can highlight multiple clips, consolidate, okay, this will be the reason, and now I can crossfade everything together. Okay, nice. Now another, so consolidating. Another thing that we can do besides reversing, scrubbing the clip, consolidating and using a fade is also changing the pitch right here. Okay. Now the pitch you won't be able to change it if the track is on re-pitch, if the clip is on re-pitch. So you can simply right click and just crop the clip and then, or we can resample it. Sorry, we can freeze and flatten and then continue our work. But right now, right here, we have it on beats. Let me pitch it right here. I'll pitch it down. Okay. Yeah, that was a bit of extreme glitching, but that's fine. Okay, so moving around, duplicating, copying, pasting. We can reverse with R. We can duplicate and then consolidate to create all sorts of fades, and there's some other stuff we can do. We can also stretch, okay? So let's say I want the first snare to be really stretched right here. So I'm gonna highlight it. Oops, highlight, Command E. And now if let me delete this for a second. If I move this around, this clip, I just trim it. But if I hold Shift, and we'll get this arrow, if you can see the arrow, I can now stretch it, okay, by holding Shift. And why am I missing here the beginning? Nice. And let's change it to Beats Warp mode. And maybe we'll do actually texture warp mode, which is kind of gonna chop it to really small grain. Kind of like old school repitch, old school stretching. That sounds like a fart. Let's stretch this then. So it sounds even more like a fart. I don't know, let's see. It's okay, that's fine. Let's pitch it up. Okay, maybe with some reverb and stuff. So, but before that, so again, we had copying, pasting, moving around, reversing. We can repitch, we can stretch, we can scrub inside the clip to choose different sections. There's so much we can do to audio just with editing. Okay, just with editing. I think I covered everything. Now, we can also start using automations to also do some crazy stuff. For example, if we have a clip, right here we can go to the clip envelopes, which are essentially automations for the length of the clip. I can go right here, clip, transposition, and I can change the pitch over time inside that selected clip. And for this, it doesn't work as it's in Beats Warp mode. We'll have to change it to complex. Okay, and maybe we'll start it low. Okay, so you can change, and we'll do it maybe on a regular, let's say this is, hopefully I made the point about the consolidating. We'll see it more. Actually, let's see it on the drums, on the kick before I move on to show you that on the snare. So here, we'll do it on the kicks. We have these kicks right here. Let's consolidate them so they're one clip. I'm going to go inside the clip. Here we have the kicks. I'm going to go and change it to complex warp mode because it won't work in beats. Change it to the clip envelopes. Here we have clip transposition. I don't see the blue line, so I'll have to move up and down. Here it is. And then maybe bring it up. No, down. Okay. Okay, and again, everything will make sense once we have all those nice chords and bass lines and stuff. Okay, nice. Let's maybe take this snare, duplicate it, and pitch it up just a tiny bit. Okay, it's endless, the games that you can do. Nice, so we have automations for the envelopes, for the pitch. We can also use any type of automations when it comes to effects. So maybe this stretch snare, I also want it to be drowned a tiny bit in reverb. So I can load an effect on the track itself, reverb, set up the reverb however I want, and then only turn it off. Go to the automation, so right click on the on off and choose show automation. Now I would prefer doing this with the mouse because it's only on off, so we can only be on or off. It's very easy to do it with the mouse, and I only want it to be on here. Okay. And maybe I'll even automate the decay to even go higher. We can even add a distortion. Yeah, let's do it. We'll add the distortion a tiny bit to even bring it up here, and then we'll also have to overall output because it's going to be too loud. But this is extra, you know. I'll make it even more extreme. I want it to kind of explode, so I'll make the saturation, distortion, add more distortion, maybe something like this. But it doesn't matter right now. Let's move on, okay, for the editing. Okay, nice. So automation where we only apply effects on specific elements, okay, or specific moments of the drums. Sweet. This is one way of using jungle breaks and editing them on the arrangement view. Any questions about this? Because I also want to show you another way where we use a sampler, or in our case in Ableton, we're going to use the simpler. But any questions on the audio editing, if you are just starting out with the style, I would highly recommend doing it this way. Okay, this is an amazing way of exercising and working on your editing skills, which is essential for everything.
Yuda?
Yes.
I noticed that you put your kicks, ride, and snare all into the same track. If you're going to build it out, wouldn't you want to put each of those sounds onto their own track?
Not in this style, and that's a very good